Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this symposium in the late afternoon. The reason we have this symposium today is that there's another birthday celebration. So I'm the celebration master today, and this time we are enjoying the 75th anniversary of a journal which is called Annales Nestlé. I will give you a very short, brief overview what this is about. Annales Nestlé has been started to be published in 1942. 1942 was a very difficult time because it was during the Second World War, but nevertheless, it did start exactly at that age. The first printed version, you see, had been in 1949. And then over the decades, the format changed, and now it's been published in a journal. And every one of you can get one exemplar of the journal outside, either when you come in or when you leave the room about the topics we are discussing today. So what was published and what was the content of Annales Nestlé over the decades? So since 1942, Hot Topics in Pediatrics appeared 3 times a year. In 1982, 60,000 printed versions were distributed in English, German, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. In 2002, it increased to 120,000 printed versions in English, French, German, Spanish, and Chinese. And since 2011, the Annales Nestlé are published in Annals of Nutrition and Metabolism. And that's the one I mentioned to you. It's outside. Please get an exemplar of it. Or you can get it online on this website. I was able to get a picture of the administrative building in Vevey, where probably the decision was made to publish this journal in 1942. That is the administrative building, still there in Vevey. You see in the back the company Nestlé, but during that time, most of the product were not produced there. They were produced in Orb, which is not far from Geneva. What happened during this time? Many things happened. For instance, in 1953, varicella virus was first isolated by Dr. Weller, leading to a greater understanding of chickenpox. In 1967, the first pediatric department in the Philippines was erected by Dr. Del Mundo. The first polio vaccine by Sabin, 1960, was licensed. The first leukemia research unit in Britain was established at Great Ormond Street in 1961. The first heart and lung bypass machine for children in 1962, again in Great Ormond Street in London. 1963, Enders and colleagues create the world's first measles vaccine. 1967, WHO launches the intensified smallpox eradication program at Great Ormond Street, and that led to the first UK clinical trials of the rubella vaccine. So a time where there was a lot of progress, and most of these topics have been dealt with at Annales Nestlé. So I show you some typical topics between 1996 and 2005, and you can read it yourself. So there is like an average of general pediatric knowledge which had been published, not only nutrition, but also atopy, immunization, pediatric cardiology, learning in childhood, epilepsy, celiac disease, and child oncology. And today, 70 years later, the journal is still alive. one copy is outside waiting for you. So this is my short overview for today. And now we will start the session. And the first presentation will be given by Professor Hania Szajewska. She's professor and chair of the Department of Pediatrics at the Medical University of Warsaw. And she is currently serving as our editor of the Journal of Pediatric Gastroenterology and Nutrition, and I'm sure you all know her. So, Hania, could you please come up and give your talk on evidence-based medicine and clinical research? Both are needed. Neither is perfect.